It was the week of finals, and I was with my friends. We had just gotten out of class. We were actually going to the library to study for our final the very next day. And outside of the library, students were holding a celebration of Israel's Independence Day, I believe, celebration of their country. Everyone was spray painting t-shirts, drawing with chalk. It was really peaceful and fun. And so we just kind of hung out there, and then we noticed that there was somebody standing by the celebration with a large sign with a swastika on it, and we were like, what is going on? Like, why are there police here doing nothing about this? And we watched as he had more and more interactions with students and them becoming more and more upset. And we started overhearing them saying, I'm gonna, hurt him, I want to hurt him, things around those lines and in that nature. And at that moment, I told my friends, like, hey, take my stuff, like, I am going to take the sign from him. And yes, and one of the police officers approached me, Officer Heim, and she said, I heard that you were going to take the sign, please don't do that. She walked away, and as we know, I did take the sign. But yeah, so the minute that he put it down by his side, I walked over very nonchalantly, I grabbed it, and I ran. It sounded like I scored a three-pointer at the buzzer. Everyone, Spates Plaza, the library, just, whoa, they went crazy, and I kept running. I began to tear it up, and that was when I was arrested. And they took me through Bolton Hall, I believe it is, and to the officers' cars, patted me down the whole 9 yards, sat me in the car, handcuffed and everything, and Officer Heim told me, I'm going to give you a citation for something. I just don't know for what yet. So we ended up going then to the office at Sandburg, the police station there. I waited for a while, and then Officer Heim returned and explained that I had a $456 citation for resisting and obstructing an officer, as well as 2 warnings on my record for vandalism and theft. Those were reduced a few days later. I received a call to just vandalism for $267. So that's kind of where that day ended.
All right, I'll ask you more about the court stuff here in a second, but
Sure.
What was on the sign that you took?
There was a very large swastika emboldened on the front, along with words like gas the Jews and many triple parentheses, which is historically a very anti-Semitic sign, and just a lot of things around that nature. And it was really the things he was saying as well that were very deeply upsetting, too.
How did it make you feel when you saw that and heard that and saw other people reacting to it?
It made me upset because there are so many countries that have laws and legislation against these sort of things.
Do you feel more comfortable knowing he's no longer a student on campus at the school?
No, not at all.
Why not?
Because anyone can access that campus. We have many homeless people who are in the union at all times. Anyone can walk into almost any building that they want. And it terrifies me because we shouldn't have to be afraid to go to school. But I feel like nobody's taking me or other concerned students seriously. And I don't want blood on my hands at the end of the day if something were to happen and the police did not take action when I tried to call them and tell them what had happened.
What would make you feel better? What could the school do to make you and your classmates feel better?
I wish that we could have a lot more security. I understand that because it is such a large campus that is nearly impossible. But that's an ideal, and ideals are not always very realistic. That's why they're called ideals. But I really wish that we would be able to ban him from campus.
Okay, so how many times have you been in court so far?
I've been in court 3 times now.
Okay, and you're not done?
No, I am far from done. I refuse to accept these charges, even though I was offered a $1 plea deal. I don't want this on my record. I have family members who were stationed to literally kill Nazis. So I just don't see this as just or right that I'm being charged when the person, the offender, who ought to be charged with hate speech and a hate crime at the very least, is walking free.